Companion is a film that just showed up on Max, and honestly, I will recommend this film very, very highly. This is a film that is one of those types that has a great premise, and it is written so well, and plot events happen with twists and turns in them that are set up very well and are executed even better. This is one of the best films I've seen this year, and it was released in January. That used to be like a dumping ground for movies. Now we're actually seeing films that are good that are coming out in January. What's crazy about that? Well, we still get bad content, but Companion is not bad content. Now, I'm probably going to have to talk about this film. This is one of those films in which, like, I don't think it's smart to know things about this film before you see it. It's kind of like the film The Matrix. A lot of people didn't know what that film was about before they saw it, but the fact that you discover this whole interesting thing as you watch it makes the film so much better. I think Companion would work on that level. I will have to reveal this because unfortunately when I saw the film was there, it had a little quick summary there. So I read that thing, and yes, it is about this. And this might be a deal breaker because this is kind of a science fiction film, but not a very big budget for it. But it has certain sci-fi elements in it that remind me of a certain episode or episodes of, say, Black Mirror. By the way, next week I intend to do a very huge Black Mirror week. It's going to be Black Mirror Rant all next week. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So the issue that I have with this is that the main character is played by Jack Quaid, and if you don't know that name, think The Boys, think Star Trek Lower Decks, think My Adventures with Superman. Yeah, he's in there a lot, and yes, he's a Nepo baby, okay? He's like the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, okay? This kid was given a lot of opportunities. But for this small independent film, I'm glad he took the time to read the script because he's pretty good in this. And here's the thing. This is one of those films where, and this is going to be, okay, I'm going to do just a quick spoiler here as far as like the basic premise of this film. In this world, essentially, you could actually have an android companion. Essentially, like if you wanted to have, like, say, a slave in your home, you actually want to have an actual person to talk to, you can purchase an AI robot who will look essentially pretty much human. It's not like, say, the replicants of Blade Runner, which are essentially organic beings that are just cloned. The companions are essentially they're robots. And they have an exoskeleton and they have like a fleshy coating of some type. And they can pretty much do whatever you want to, even that. And yeah, a lot of people use them for that. And the main character is essentially using this girlfriend for his own pleasures, just to have a companion. So, and she even has memories that are not hers of how they first met. All these really false memories. So, like I said, this is an episode that deals with a lot of issues that a lot of sci-fi films deal with. This idea of artificial life and having these almost, fake memories and stuff like that. These are things that are showing up. Okay, so now I'm going to get to certain plot elements of this film. What happens is this companion android kills one of the friends of the main character. Now, the main character and his companion go to the woods, and there's like this cabin in the woods with 4 other people. And one of them is like the main character's like, I don't know, old girlfriend. I'm not really certain what their relationship is. But this old girlfriend or old friend who is a girl has a husband, or I don't know, she is mistress? I don't really remember, but there's a guy named Sergey there who's like super rich. He can afford to have this cabin. This isn't like a cabin in the woods. It's some rustic place that smells like dust and campfire. This is a place that's like very luxurious, has its own like private lake. I'm not really certain where they filmed this, but essentially, yeah, they're there and they brought two other characters, a gay couple that at first I thought were there just to kind of like, I think they were there to simply, because here's the thing. This is one of those films that reveals a lot of information very quickly. And it takes to the, probably I think the 15 or 20 minute mark before you realize that the companion robot is in fact a robot. And one day she wakes up, goes to the lake, and Sergey is there. And Sergey hits on her and claims that, hey, we're supposed to be together. My girlfriend said this was okay. And for some reason, the companion AI has this knife in her pocket, a switchblade. And she's so startled by this that when he tries to force himself upon her, she stabs him. So basically, this is kind of what happens there. Now, what I thought was going to happen next didn't happen. What I thought was going to happen is, oh, I get it. AI android goes crazy and now it's going to start to kill everyone in the cabin and they're just going to get bumped off left and right. No, that does not happen at all. And what does happen is absolutely incredibly beautiful, because you start to realize who the people are in this cabin and what they're willing to do. And that's where it gets super, super good. And this is why I even hesitate to even talk about this film, because this is one of those films in which, like, maybe I don't want to reveal what happens in this particular thing. So I will have to say this. Oh man, I don't even know what to say, man. Am I going to spoil the plot? I don't know. I don't really feel like spoiling the plot. That's the basic setup. Maybe I'm going to go with that. Okay. I have very few criticisms against this film, honestly. I actually think that this is one of those films that's set up in such a way that the writing is very tight. You can tell that a lot of drafts happened with this script, that they went like, okay, then what happens? Okay, then what happens? Then what happens? There's only one scene at the end where I kind of went like, I don't really understand why that character did that. And perhaps maybe, and I feel like that's maybe my fault for finding out, okay, what did I miss here? Why is this character doing that? When I say character, am I talking about a real person or am I talking about an AI? You decide. No, you can just watch the film and just catch that. Okay, so I am going to talk about one thing for the last, I don't know, 2 minutes or so, that I'm starting to see in these type of films. I don't really know how to explain this, but I will explain this when I get to Black Mirror week, which we'll do next week, which will be a lot of fun. In a lot of these kind of sci-fi setups, because here's the thing, Companion could have been one of those films. Actually, maybe it couldn't have been because they probably didn't have the budget. Normally when you're seeing a film with artificial people or androids, they really go out of their way to make the world as futury as possible. You know, they have flying cars or things or huge towering cities, stuff like that you see in this thing. Companion feels like it could take place probably now, and I'm guessing in like, I don't know, like once we get automated technology. There's one scene that is at the beginning of this film where Jack Wade is on his phone while he's driving, and I'm going like, okay, that's just dangerous, and then I realize the car is driving itself, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it is. This is apparent. I mean, if they can have a world where they have artificial people here that are robots, they can surely have figured out that whole self-driving technology by now, which is probably going to be our future here in the next few years. So, the issue is, I feel like this thing with the companions should be more of an issue. I feel like there would probably be certain laws in place to make sure that some of the stuff that happened in this particular film wouldn't happen. The fact that one has killed somebody, I get the feeling like, okay, is this really the first time this has happened? Because if that even happened even once, I think we would probably start thinking about maybe not having robot companions. Or maybe we wouldn't. Maybe we would be like, okay, I guess it's an acceptable number, and you only kill like 4 a year. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking about this film. I'm going to get into that when I talk about my Black Mirror rant coming up next week. But for now, I will highly recommend Companion, especially if you like stories like this. Mark Owens from Geek Church, signing off.